Hi aspirants, this is Varun Kumar. Today we are going to discuss about finance, which is financial structure. Before financial structure, we have to understand the development of financial institution and how our financial institution were developed and how is our structures going on. So let us start with introduction. What are the DFIs and why they matters? Okay. First, let us go with DFIs. DFIs are specialized bank set up provide medium and long term finance. Okay, DFIs is a bank which is set up by the government to provide a long term and short term loan to the industries. Okay, they were created to bridge the gap in finance large capital intensive project that commercial bank cannot easily support. Before independence, we did add a bank like Canara Bank, Kotak Bank, HDFC Bank. The now we can get a we can get a easy loan, but on that time we couldn't get a long term loan. There were only few financial institutions that used to provide these types of loan. Okay, DFI receives government and RBI backing, giving them a low cost capital. This let them lend a concessional rate of take or higher risk. They are offer project support service, technical assistance, risk monitor, and equity participation in addition to pure lending. Okay. Next point is these function make DFI crucial for economic development. Okay, these function make economic very development. For example, DFI finance sector like industry, infrastructure, agriculture, and housing. Like after the post independence, RBI had a task to develop the DFIs. So DFIs used to provide loans to industries to make industry good infrastructure and agriculture to improve the economy. Now let us understand historics of DFI, why DFI was created. Okay, in 1948, okay, after the independence 1948, first it might be asking in a many competitive exam which was the first DFI, like first financial institution, which was first financial no say RBI, except RBI. First is IFCI, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, established in 1948 on the Act of Parliament. Mandate was provide long-term loan to the industry. Like in after independence, we didn't had any resources, we didn't had any industry, so a government built and government took initiative to provide a long-term loan to develop the industry. So they implemented IFCI. They built an IFCI, which is Industrial Finance Corporation of India. The next is 1952 State Corporation for state. IFCI is for national level. Yes, SFC is for state level. Created under Act of effective August 92. Finance small scale medium enterprises for state level. Okay, ICIC. Today we know ICIC Bank, which is it was founded in 1955 with the help of World Bank support. Before liberalization, ICICI Bank used to provide. ICICI was a private industry and it used to provide loan for industries. Okay, not like a bank. Okay, next is 1964 IDBI Bank. IDBI was formed under Act of April 64, was wholly owned subsidiary of RBI, becoming the apex term lending DFI for heavy industry and infrastructure. IDB was the like they used to lend more money for industry, so it is an apex lending. The next is 1982 Exim Bank and NABARD. NABARD we all know, which is head regulatory for rural and agriculture bank. Exim Bank, which is foreign bank. Exim and NABARD. Exim Bank, import export bank of India, was set up to promote finance international trade. To support the finance in the international, the government took initiative and built a Exim Bank. Okay, NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, came into existence in 1982 by merging RBI's ARDC, Agriculture Refined and Development Corporation, focusing on agriculture and rural development. For the specific rural development and agriculture, they built an institution which is NABARD. For international trades, they built an institution which is Exim Bank. Like export and import bank. Now let's go more to next is 1988 NHB National Housing Bank was established in 1987. My friends, I'm warning you, please note this all these dates, which is very important. Okay. I okay, as principal agency of housing finance, which was head of the IDFC Infrastructure Development Finance Corporation, was like IDFC Bank was incorporated in 1980. It was not incorporated as a bank, it was an infrastructure development to provide long-term finance for infrastructure projects like building a road, building a bridge, building anything for development for they used to provide loan. Okay. In 1989, Tourism Finance Corporation of India was created to provide finance to tourism and hospitality sector. They want to increase the tourism in India, so they gave loan for tourism. In 1990, small SDBI, Small Industry Development Bank of India, was set up under Act of 1990. It became a primary DFI for MSME sector, which is medium small Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises, like small business. It was the bank for the small businesses. Okay, they couldn't get a loan in big banks, so the government set up a CDB for rural development. The next is IIFCL, India Infrastructure Finance Co. Limited, was incorporated in 2006 to channelize a long-term resource into infrastructure project. In 2021, we all know National Bank of Finance, which is established to address large infrastructure finance gaps. Okay, now we came to know about evolution of DFIs. If we ask evolution of DFIs, you can answer these questions. Now, what are the gaps before the liberalization in financial system? Let us understand what was the gaps before 1991, which was liberalization year. India financial system was overwhelming. Bank dominated and oriented short-term credit. Bank is to give short-term credit, but they couldn't provide a long-term loan. Okay, large-scale project like steel plant project, power project, irrigation often couldn't raise sufficient from the bank because they used to provide only short-term loans. So there was no development. Okay, DFIs were funded by government sources, RBI surplus, by giving a low cost of capital that allows them to lend low interest for long tenors than commercial bankers. Reason for establishing DFIs and the significance. Why government established DFIs? Like we used to, what are the importance of these DFIs? Development mandate. DFIs were instrument of national planning. They were tasked with finance projects that further policy goals, industrialization, import substitution, rural development, which private capital market couldn't serve easily. Okay, catalyzing growth by providing patient capital for heavy industry like steel plant and power, etc. DFI accelerates self-reliance, like made in India product were made. We used to create more employment in a rural side, and they enable projects for long lasting and ultimately expanded productivity capacity and employment. Next, specialized support. DFI went beyond lending. They performed detailed project appraisal, offered technical and managerial advice, and closely monitored borrowers. This relationship banking helped mitigate project risk and ensure successful implementation. Long-term perspective. Long-term perspective, unlike commercial banks, DFIs couldn't sustain loans through entire project life cycle, often taking equity stake or sending directors to the board. This long-term horizon approach allows risky or innovative ventures to get funded. Now let's move to the next major DFIs in India. Okay, which is major DFIs is IFCI. IFCI was first set up by Parliament to provide long-term industrial credit. ICIC later converted to ICICI Bank. IDBI Bank, Industrial Development Bank of India, created as RBI subsidiary. Apex Term Lending Institution, Exim Bank for foreign trades, NABARD for development of rural and agriculture, NBH is regulatory of housing, SEDB for small scale industries, for TFCI for tourism, IFCL for large infrastructure project, uh, NABFID for National Banking, Finance Infra, DFI focused on infrastructure sector, addressing long-term and non-recourse finance gaps. Now let us understand impact of 1991 liberalization on DFIs. What was the impact of 1990 liberalization to the DFIs? Okay, increased competition. After the liberalization, there were many competition. There were many outsider was coming inside, and people used to get more money. And financial liberalization allows bank and capital market to lend long term. DFI lost their monopoly. Okay, before the liberalization, DFI had a monopoly. Now, after liberalization, DFI lost its monopoly. Okay, next is funding shift. Concession funding, where pays it out. DFIs now rely on market borrows for resource mobilization. This raises the cost of fund and affect lending asset. Next is transformation. Narasimha Committee. We should remember these committees. Okay, Narasimha Committee said DFIs to become a universal bank or NBFC. For example, ICICI become ICICI Bank in 2002, and IDBI become IDBI Bank in 2004. Other DFIs reconstruct under RBI NBFC regulation. These will be controlled by these two regulators. Okay, new roles and stress. With deregulation, DFIs began focusing more on refinance and niche areas. Many faced legacy, NPA, and competition challenge. Overall liberalization required DFIs to modernize and compete on commercial terms. Conclusion. Let us to the conclusion, which is um, even the liberalization era, DFI played a crucial complementary roles. They continued to finance a elongation and which was highly impact, which developed our economy. And new DFI like NUBFIT highlighted ongoing gaps. To address the gaps in long term, they built this NUBFIT. Many DFIs have converted into banks like ICICI and IDBI. For RBI Grade B aspirants, DFI embody how financial system has been shaped by policy goals. Understand the DFIs, why they were created, how DFI works. Okay, okay. These are the today's video. These are the sources which I got this. So these are the DFIs. In next video, we will learn about types of markets for the RBI. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe for a future video. My current subscribers 23, so my goal is 30 subscribers. So and the like target is 5. Comment. Okay, the PDF will be given in description, so you can click and read it. Thank you.